Hello, beautiful souls. How are you doing today? Hope you're having a peaceful and balanced day. Welcome to my channel, Breathe and Balance, where we talk about everything related to balance within and without, and also how we use breathing techniques very creatively to reach this state of balance. My name is Chatri Jayasuriya. I'm a therapist, life coach, energy healer, and a creator of channeled healing mandalas called Suva Mandalas. So today we are going to talk about what is balance. So how do we know whether we are in balance or off balance? What are the indicators? So I looked at some of the definitions available out there, for balance, to describe balance. And I just share three definitions. One says ability to maintain steadiness and stability. And according to the Oxford Dictionary, it's an even distribution of weight, enabling someone or something to remain upright and steady. And according to design principle and art, it is a visual weight distributed evenly across the composition, seems stable, makes the viewer feel comfortable and is pleasing to the eye. So if you notice, the common word or term that keeps coming up is steadiness and stability. So I think we can safely ascertain that this quality of steadiness or stability is key to being in a state of balance, right? So we have to maintain stability and steadiness in order to reach a state of balance. And it is also physically, in terms of the physical aspect, it is known also as the center of gravity, which is found at in the area of the belly button. But I think this can be applied to other areas of our lives as well. The center of gravity, or the fulcrum point, or the middle point, center of balance. So I think it would be easier, to explain this with the aid of the four bodies. So what do I mean by four bodies? We all know that we have a physical body, a mental body, emotional body, and a spiritual or energetic or ethereal body or bodies, right? Because we are multi-dimensional beings. We have these different aspects or the different bodies through which we engage with life on Earth. Okay, so we all know what physical body is. We can see it, we can touch it, it's tangible, and we see this when we are in front of a screen or a mirror, and the body feels sensation. So that is one way through which we can identify, or one indicator of whether we are in or off balance, because we can sense it through the sensations in the body, whether it's a tingling sensation, heaviness, expansion, contraction, and various other types of sensations we feel in the body. We'll discuss a little bit later as to how it exactly indicates balance or imbalance. So in terms of the body, we have what is known as the 5 doors, sensory doors: ears, nose, tongue, eyes, and the body or the skin, right? Through which we receive sensory perceptions, stimulations, through which we form certain perceptions and experience life. Then we have the mental body, where thought forms are formed. So this could be verbal thoughts, this could be images, various kinds of thought forms, but it's this incessant chatter, or the monkey mind, as it is often referred to as. And although it is not tangible, thoughts also emit a particular frequency. there's a vibrational frequency or an energy attached to these thoughts. And then we have the emotional body, or the heart, where we feel various emotions. And there's a range of emotions that we are capable of feeling as human beings: love and sadness and happiness, jealousy, gratitude, anger, and, a wide range of high or low vibrational frequencies. This is not to judge any emotion as right or wrong or good or bad, but it's the range. So once again, we cannot see, it's not tangible, but it emits a particular frequency, which actually can be felt. But, we'll discuss those things later. And then we have the spiritual or the energetic body. So when we talk about the chakra system, we are directly referring to those energy bodies. So it is definitely, in the vibrational realm, it's a frequency, once again, not tangible. So what is actually, the spiritual body? I mean, when it comes to the physical, mental, and emotional, it's pretty straightforward. We all understand. But when it comes to the spiritual, there can be various different definitions, because there's no universal definition or understanding of what spirit is or what spirituality is all about, because it's a very broad and a deep subject. But if you're interested, I can make a small video on spirituality, or what is to be spiritual, how do we connect with our spirit, and, examining these things as well, because I feel it's really important that we know how to connect with our spiritual body, because it is the spirit, that guides us, or the soul. I mean, these are words that are frequently used to denote this particular field of energy. So it is often said, right, that we are a spirit having a human experience through this vessel that we call the physical body, that helps us experience various things on planet Earth as life. We call these experiences life. What is spiritual? So various different spiritual traditions in the world describes it in different ways, but in essence, we can say that it is beyond or greater than the sensory experience of being human in the three-dimensional realm, right? And it is transcendental, and it is very cosmic and divine in nature, and it's a kind of a greater or a higher, source of wisdom, although, I don't want to create any hierarchy, and this is referred to as soul, spirit, grace, the divine, God, goddess, the quantum field, 0 point, and all kinds of terms are used for this. But I think we all might have our own definition or an understanding experience of what spirit is, and how we connect to our soul or spirit or source or the divine. And ultimately, I feel that it is that deepest connection to yourself. It is nothing outside of us, but it is our true home, our core, our essence, that is where we find the divine or our own spirit, and through which we connect to all other souls and all other forms of energy, because energetically we are all one. So this is the reason I feel that it is really important for us to get in touch with our soul or spirit, whatever you would like to call it, higher self, because the soul guides us. It always knows which path to take, which direction to move towards, and it steers us continuously in the right way. And it knows what our soul blueprint is, what we are born on earth to learn, because we incarnate on earth to learn a series of lessons in order to evolve, in order to ascend and attain that spiritual evolution and liberation, moksha, or whatever, you might want to call it, that ultimate state of self-realization. So it is the soul, that guides us towards that. But if we are not aware of, or we are not connected to that part of us, it is very easy to fall off the path, and be misguided. And that's very much a state of imbalance. And if we are connected to our spirit and our soul, it's easier to stay aligned and remain in a state of balance most of the time, at least. So how do we know when we are imbalanced using these four bodies? For example, physically, every time you fall sick, there is an imbalance. Every ache, pain, ailment, in our body, they're not our enemies, actually, they're our friends, because the body is the direct denominator, indicator, our best friend, like a child who has not learned to lie. It always tells us what is going on within us. And according to research also, 80% of all the mental and physical health issues or ailments in the world has an underlying emotional root cause. So the body is an indicator of whatever is happening within our unconscious mind and our emotional body, because you cannot see what is happening within you as you stand in front of a mirror, although you can see your form, right? So we need other things to show us whatever is going on. So instead of rejecting whatever these ailments as like painful and an inconvenience, that it will serve us better when we take them as an opportunity to look within, delve within, and really address our wounds, our internal wounds. Once again, we'll talk about it more later, especially like how we can use modalities like the emotional freedom technique, or popularly known as tapping, to work with this emotional mental body for various mental, emotional, and energetic shifts, that can alleviate certain, physical symptoms as well of various health levels. So mentally, of course, we know we are in a state of imbalance when we are constantly in a negative state of mind, like, spiraling downwards, always thinking of, negative things, or what can go wrong, or, thinking about the past, worrying about the past, or, worrying about what will happen in the future. So those are clear indicators that we are not centered, we are not balanced. And emotionally, of course, we know whenever we are stressed and feeling anxiety, sadness, anger, and all these other emotions, grief, etc., that we are not balanced. That's pretty easy. And spiritually, energetically also, the best way for us to know is by using our intuition. And intuition is directly linked to the heart consciousness as well. And recently I read a research where they said that the heart is the seat of intuition, right? So intuition, or sixth sense, it is when we kind of have that knowing or this sensing of something that cannot be grasped by our rational mind or through reasoning. So our left brain hemisphere governs the rational mind, while the right governs intuition, creativity, and things like that. And sometimes you just know when somebody's talking to you, everything looks fine, but somehow you get a knowing, a sensing something is wrong. This person is not telling the truth, for example, right? And dreams states. Now, that is another wonderful source of information for us to know what is happening, for example, in the unconscious or in other realms, other dimensions, because dream state is one where spirit can bypass the rational mind that creates skepticism, doubts, fears, and things like that when we are asleep, because we are in a different brain state. So I'm not going in depth into this because it's a very broad area, but just mentioning that these are some of the indicators that, that comes to the spiritual body to indicate that there is an imbalance of sort, in our lives, that something is not right, something needs to be realigned. Certain cues through intuition, which is like a small whisper most of the time. They say anxiety screams and intuition whispers, right? And it takes some practice to know the difference between the two. Anyway, now that we know how each of these bodies can indicate or become an indicator of a state of imbalance, so we know it can be an indicator of a state of balance as well, because it's the exact opposite. So with practice, as we become more and more attuned to these different aspects of ourselves, it becomes easier to know each and every moment, whether we are in a state of balance or imbalance, and how we can, we can learn techniques to come back to our center sooner. But does this mean that all of us have the same center of gravity or same point of balance? No, because we are individuals, and by nature and definition, that means that we are different. And that is because, our lifestyles are different, our conditioning is different based on our life experience, belief systems, memories, how they are processed and stored. And even the composition of these different bodies are different. For example, one person might need a vegan diet in order to balance his or her body, whereas another person might have to consume meat because the body requires it. There are genetics involved, and various different elements and factors involved. So we cannot judge and cannot determine, okay, this is my center of balance, and this is what is needed for me to stay in this balance, and therefore the other person also need to be in that same state, even if it's your parent or child or lover or sibling, friend, whoever it might be. We all have our own state of balance, our own way of experiencing, embodying, and expressing our balance. And this is called our own personal boundaries. And this is a very important concept, boundary, when it comes to balance. I mean, it goes hand in hand. They're like siblings, balance and boundaries. We absolutely need boundaries in order to stay in balance. And I'll do a separate episode on that. So we therefore need to be aware of our own point of balance. Where is my balance? How or when do I fall off balance? These are the boundaries when it comes to different aspects of my life, whether it's relationships, money, education, health, whatever it might be. And these four bodies, how do I experience balance? And when or how do I experience imbalance? And that is unique to myself, right? And so ultimately, when we become very intimate with ourselves, when we discover us, it's very important, actually, this is a part of self-discovery, in getting to know yourself. Only you really understand this is my center of gravity. And throughout our life also, it can keep changing as we evolve, as we heal, as we grow. So why is balance important? After all, I think we already know the answer, right, through this discussion. Because it is only when we reach a state of balance across different aspects of our lives and these four main bodies that we can experience that state of happiness and peace that we are all longing for. And we do everything in life to experience that happiness, that peace, right? And it can only be done if you reach this state of balance. So balance would equal happiness and peace. So I hope this conversation today could illuminate a little bit, at least, on your understanding of what balance is all about, and that this provided you at least a lens through which you can look at the concept of balance, and that you will be able to contemplate a little bit more on where you stand in your life in terms of balancing these four bodies. And we will discuss further on this in the coming episodes, more in detail. We will go, explore each and every each of these four bodies separately and how it connects to the different aspects of our lives, and things like that. So my invitation to you would be like, just like we have different targets for our, let's say, financial situation, we have health goals, fitness goals, educational goals, relationship goals. We can also have a goal in relation to balance. After examining, okay, where am I currently in terms of balancing these various aspects of my life? I might be really good. I might have a really good sense of balance when it comes to my education or my fitness goals, for example, but I may not be so balanced when it comes to my love relationship. So where do I need to improve? How can I do that? Right? So these are the kind of questions that we will be asking and we will be exploring in the coming episodes. So thank you so much for joining me today. And if you feel that this added a little bit of value to your life, please feel free to press that subscribe button and share with those who might benefit from conversations like this. And I would really appreciate your feedback and comments. And you can find more information about the services that I provide on my website, which I've mentioned in the description box below. So till we meet next, have a safe and happy, balanced day. Keep smiling. Bye for now.